Hello all, I am Vasanth, Azure Associate Administrator. This project done by me. Find the linked link in the description box. In this video, what we are going to do is, we already know that Azure and AWS are both are very big cloud platform. Now we're gonna connect between the Azure and the AWS via site-to-site VPN, which is a common way to build a multi-cloud environment. Because both providers offer a managed VPN service, so you can link them using the standard IP section protocol. So I'm gonna connect this Azure side VM and AWS side VM uh, as is shown in the architecture diagram. So to make this work, you essentially treat Azure as a remote site from AWS perspectively and vice versa. So in Azure side, we're gonna use a virtual network gateway, and in AWS side, we are going to use a virtual private gateway. I will show in the architecture. You can see. So now we are going to create a resource group as shown in the architecture. Now I'm going to stick this architecture on the top of the window so that we can do the activity by seeing the architecture. So I'm going to pin this architecture. For to pin this, I'm going to use the snip-based application. Let it be here. So we can deploy the resources by seeing this architecture. Now I'm gonna create a resource group name called test RG. Review and create. In this resource group, all the resources resides inside in this resource group. Now we're gonna create an virtual network. Give the name as test VNet. I'm gonna skip the security. So by default, Azure provides 10 network. In this 10 network, create a subnet. Create a subnet in this 10 network. Give the name for subnet as Azure subnet. And give the starting address as 10.0.1.0. If you want to create NSG, directly you can create here or you can create later. Now I'm gonna create a NSG and give the name as the Azure NSG. Review, click save. Now next thing, we're gonna create a NSG rule. and if you want you can create a VM in this subnet. So the starting IP will be as a 10.0.1.0. If you want you can create a VM in this same starting IP called 10.0.1.0, which is a private IP address. Before creating VM, let us create some rules in NSG. Azure by default provides implicit rule, but we're gonna create a new rule as it becomes a explicit rule. So as we want to connect to AWS VM, so we're gonna create a rule and give port um, any port and any protocol, and give source any. This is just for test purpose. Click add. Next we're gonna create a virtual machine. Give the name as VM as test VM1 or VM1. No infra redundancy required. Security type standard. Image I choose as a Ubuntu server, and the size I choose 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. Which is free service eligible, and public inbound ports are given as none, because already we allowed any port in NSG, so it is not necessary to allow port here. So I choose none. I gonna skip as it is the disk part. Next we'll go to the networking part. Skip this. Go to networking. In networking, select the network subnet. Select the network which we have created and select the subnet which we already created. Now select the IP to create. Now just to review and create. It will ask for validation. In background, Azure goes to deploy NIC card, public IP, VM, and you can see the deployments is in progress. Deployment is in progress. And you can see in background uh, the public IP is created. So resource and all deployed. VM is successfully deployed. Next, we're gonna create instance in AWS. So now I'm going to log in AWS console. Authentication is successfully granted. Now, before creating instance, now in AWS, we're gonna create a VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. You can see the VPC in the menu bar. Go to your VPC, create VPC. Now give the name for VPC. I given as AWS VPC. Next in Azure also we use 10 network, but uh, in AWS we'll use the 172.16 network, so that ensuring that there will be no conflict. If there is same network, it will get conflict, since IP address are used to identify the unique IP address of that computer. So just review create. Next we gonna create subnet. Azure provides default subnets. You can see the subnets are in 172.31, that is the private subnet. But we're gonna create a new subnet, and we're gonna attach the VPC that we have created. Create subnet. Here we're gonna attach the VPC. Select the VPC that you want to attach. Create an IP for subnet. Uh, Give the name for the subnet. So I have given this private IP subnet 172.16 network. One 172.16.1.0, whereas in Azure we have given as 10.0.1.0. So both are private IP address only. Now just create. Now we're gonna create internet gateway so that this VM will get the internet connection to communicate. Give the name for the internet gateway. I give the name as IGW1. Now just click the create internet gateway. Now create a root table. Before that we're gonna attach the VPC. So attach the VPC which we have created to the internet gateway. Next we're gonna create a root table. Give the name for the root table as RT1 and attach the VPC. Just create root table. The next thing we gonna edit the root table to introduce the internet gateway. So I'm gonna edit the root table. Choose the internet gateway which we created. So add root, go to add root. Now choose the internet gateway which we created. Choose the IP. So I'm gonna select anywhere 0.0.0/0. So it goes uh, to any port, any IP. It can connect to any IP. Now we're gonna create the instance. give the instance name as AWS Linux. You can create a so I'm gonna choose the Amazon Linux image. Now you can create a new pair, or if you have an existing key, you can use it. I'm using an existing key. You can now in network setting choose the default security group which you have, or you can use the existing security group. I'm gonna use default security group. Click on the edit option, which you can see on the right top. Choose the subnet which we have created and choose the VPC also. Now I'm gonna use a default security group. Now this is the default VPC security group. So you can see only the SSH and anywhere is there. Now just launch the instance. Now check for the status of instance, whether it is running or initialized stage. So it may take 2 to 3 minutes. So already we have Azure VM. So we're gonna connect the Azure VM via SSH port in Git bash terminal. So we have created instance successfully. I have already have Git bash terminal. It will be user friendly for using commands and all. So I'm gonna connect the Azure VM via SSH port. So paste the public IP of the Azure VM. If you have a putty or PowerShell or any terminal is okay. I'm gonna give the password. Go to sudo I switch user do /i -i interactive mode. Once the AWS VM is running, we'll gonna connect them. Now we're gonna ping to AWS. The instance is successfully initialized. You can see 3 out of 3 checks are passed. We'll try to ping to the AWS. So for that to ping AWS, we want public IP address of AWS. So copy the public IP address. Ping, paste the public IP address of the AWS VM. Click enter. You can see the ping does not work because there is a security group need to allow as explicit. So we're gonna add the explicit rule in AWS as like Azure. So go to inbound rules. Click on the edit inbound rules. Here I gonna add rule. Add rule to allow. So give any IP that is 0.0.0. Now just save the rules. And you can see the ping is already started. So the signal is the public to public IP communication. So anyone can communicate through public IP. Next, what we're gonna do is we'll try to communicate between private IP to private IP, which is very important task. This is the public IP. You can see the 10 packets transmitted and 10 received. There is 0% packet loss. But when you ping with private IP, it does not send the packets to communicate with AWS VM. Even though we select allow all port, allow all port protocol source and destination, it does not send the packets because it is a private IP, which is given for secure connection, not like public IP. Public IP is given to access with public internet connection, but at the same time, client needed to access the VM with a safe and secure connection. Companies go with the private IP connections. Now we're gonna create a virtual network gateway. So this virtual network gateway allows to communicate between the Azure and AWS VM. So before creating virtual network gateway, we have to create a subnet. We have to create a subnet for a virtual network gateway. So select the virtual network gateway and I choose the 10.0.2.0. There is no need of network security group for this network security group for this virtual network. So you can see the gateway subnet is created successfully. So after creating gateway subnet, next we're gonna create virtual network gateway. In search bar, just go search for VPN gateway. Create, give the name for VPN. VPN gateway. Choose the SKU. Give the name for public IP. Just for test purpose, I disable this active mode. You can just review and create. So here in Azure, to create a VPN gateway, it will take half an hour to create this VPN gateway. So I'm gonna create a virtual private gateway in Azure, sorry, in AWS. So before creating, I will show you the I'll show you the communication between Azure and AWS. So I'm gonna copy the private IP address of the AWS and I paste it here. When I ping, when I ping with the private IP address of the AWS, you can see there is no data communicating between each other. 13 packets transmitted, 0 received. But when you try to ping in public IP, you can communicate with AWS. You can see 10 packets transmitted and 9 received. Uh, in Azure, it is we use VPN gateway. So VPN gateway is deployed successfully. The same in AWS, we're gonna create a virtual private gateway. Choose the VPC. Now in virtual private network, select virtual private gateway. Create a virtual private gateway. Give the name. No need of any detail. Just create. It will be created soon. That not like Azure. It takes just 2 or 3 minutes. It will be created. Select this. Select the uh, private gateway. Go to actions. We're gonna select attach to VPC. Select this VPC. Attach. Next, we're gonna create a customer gateway. You can see it is attached successfully. Before, so in customer gateway, we're gonna paste this public IP of the VPN gateway. So I'm gonna copy this public IP of the VPN gateway. Now create customer gateway. Give the name CGW Azure. And in public IP, paste the Azure VPN gateway public IP. Now just create it. Next, we're gonna create a connection site to site. We can see there is two options: site to site VPN concentrators and site to site VPN connections. Go for the site to site VPN connection. Here, give the name virtual private gateway. Select the VPC which we have created and select the gateway, customer gateway. Click static IP. I'm gonna choose static. Here I'm gonna choose the static IP address of 10 network. I can use the tunnel to connect to Azure, but just now I click create. Create VPN connection. After creation of this, we gonna download the file configuration, which consists of pre-shared key uh, and outbound virtual private gateway public IP, same as public IP which we get from Azure VPN gateway. Here I choose generic download. You can see the file has been successfully downloaded. Check for the out uh, outside virtual private gateway public IP. So you can see the public IP of the outside IP address. So copy the virtual private gateway public IP. Copy the private gateway public IP and paste it into local gateway. So I'm gonna create the local gateway in Azure. Search for a local gateway. Create. Choose the resource group. Give the name for the local gateway. Paste the AWS public IP. So I have pasted the public IP of the AWS private gateway and give the private IP address of AWS. Just review and create. So till now we have created a VPN gateway in Azure side and private gateway in AWS side. Next we're gonna create the connection in Azure. So go to the resource. In setting you can see the connection. Click add. Give the name. connection type site to site, give the name, given as the Azure AWS, select the VPN and local gateway. In this shared access key, copy the AWS pre-shared access key, which you have already downloaded. So search for the pre-shared key. You have to go at the top. So copy this pre-shared key fully, even the down also. Copy the full key. So copy the shared key from AWS and paste it here. So just review and create. Let it be in disable mode. If you want, you can enable the BGP. If you have any BGP address, you can configure, or else you can leave it blank. I'm gonna just review and create. So in AWS, we already created a route table, but in Azure we have to create it. But now in AWS, we have to add a route to allow the communication for a 10 network. So we're gonna edit the routes in AWS. Select the route, go to routes, add route. For communication, select the 10 network. Now select the private gateway. So the communication goes to the 10 network via the private gateway. Now click Save Changes. Next in Azure, we're gonna create a route table. In searches, go for a route table. Create, choose the resource group, give the name, AZRT1, review and create. Next, next, uh, next we gonna add routes. So select the route table. Go to routes. We gonna add routes. Give the name for the route and select IP address. Destination IP address. Give the 172 network. And next hop type. Give the virtual network gateway. Just add. Everything is fine. You can just go add. Now check for the connection in Azure. In resource group, you can find all the resources. So here I'm gonna choose a VPN gateway. Check for the connection. Yeah, if it is not connected, give some refresh. It takes some 1 or 2 minutes. Click refresh for twice. It may connect. You can see it is connected. Same you can check for the connection in AWS. In AWS, you can check for the connection. Go to the site-to-site VPN connection. In the tunnel details, you can see that tunnels are down. You just refresh. See, after refresh, you can see the status up. Provisioning status is available. So one tunnel is successfully connected. That's enough for us. So when it connected, when the connection is up, you can see the private IP address connection. When I ping to private IP address of the AWS, you can see it is successfully pinging. 15 packets transmitted, 15 received. Even though when I check the public IP, even public IP also it's successfully communicating. So this is like two different vendors communicating each other in a secure private connection using the VPN gateways. So as per architecture, we have successfully connected the connection between AWS and Azure. If we delete this connection, when I ping here, it won't get ping because we have deleted the connection. So you can see the private IP does not get packets from AWS, or it does not send the request for AWS. And you can check the connection in AWS. It is showing up, but after some 2 or 3 minutes, it will get down. Status will be down after 2 3 minutes. But we can connect it to the public IP. You can see the communication uh, goes in public IP. But again, when we try to connect the Azure to AWS connection again, and copy the pre-shared key from AWS and paste it here. Review and create. It is showing the same as the app only, but it's fine. Let us check the deployment in Azure. The connection is in progress. The deployment is completed. Now check for the connection. So you can see the connection is status is connected. Now try to ping in private IP of AWS. You can see the pinging is successful. So this is like the two different vendors communicating each other in a secure private connection using the VPN gateways. So we have successfully completed this deployment as shown in the architecture. So thank you for watching this video. We'll see you next time. Bye.